So, we will now discuss the cubic equation of state. Previously, we have already have the understanding of the very basic cubic equation of state, that is a van der Waal. Now, before going into this generalization of this cubic equation of state and in general the equation of state. So, first let us discuss about the next improvement historically above and over the van der Waal equation, and that is the Redlich-Kwong equation. Right, RK. You see, we will not go into the derivation because it is beyond our scope. Redlich-Kwong equation represents this cubic form as t to the power half v into v plus b. This term, which was previously in van der Waal, was simply a by v square. Now, it has been further modified. So, pressure correction has been basically focused, and from there the pressure correction term, the newly introduced pressure correction term, the temperature dependence has been introduced and all, and from there we have got the Redlich-Kwong equation of state. So, in the Redlich-Kwong equation, you see that again we can express it in this cubic form, that is this p into t to the power half into v plus b into v minus b is equal to RT to the power 3 by 2 to the power 3 by 2 into v plus b minus a into v minus b. So, you arrange it, you can see that there is a cubic term appearing here. So, simplify to get the exact cubic form. Right. So, once it is being simplified, you can use this, or alternatively from here you can use this del p del v at c equal to del square v del v square at c equal to 0. Alternatively, you can write this v minus v c cube equal to 0. Compare the terms to get the expressions of A and B. Right. So, A 0.42748 r square Tc to the power 2.5 divided by Pc, and B is equal to 0.08664 RTC by Pc. Right. 42748, yeah. So, that is the form of Redlich-Kwong equation. Now, you see, and in van der Waal the same term was 27 divided by 64 r square Tc square divided by Pc. Now, this additional, this 0.5 is coming because of this t to the power half. So, it is simple outcome of algebra. Right. So, Redlich-Kwong is a good equation. Still today it is being used for methanes and natural gas. So, these and hydrocarbons, light hydrocarbons, it gives a very good prediction. Now, the point is, if I focus into the mathematical form of this Redlich-Kwong equation and van der Waal equation. See, let us start with a simple van der Waal. It is P plus A by V square is equal to into V minus B is equal to RT. So, this what you have got, A is equal to 27 divided by 64 RTC by PC, R square TC square by PC, and B is equal to RTC by 8 PC and ZC, which is PC VC by RTC equal to 3 by 8. Right. So, if I write that P is equal to PR into PC plus A is equal to 27 divided by 64 R square TC square divided by PC into VC into this V minus this B is equal to how much we have got? B, this is VC by 3, I think, yeah, VC by 3. So, this is equal to R into TR into TC. So, this can be further simplified and we can show that VR, the reduced volume, because if I take the ratio here, if we are taking this VC divided by 3 common, this will be reducing into this. So, here PR, there is an algebra, I am not going into the detail, right. So, PR into PC plus 27 divided by 64 R square TC square divided by PC and VC equal to RTC into 3 RTC into 3 divided by 8 PC, right. And here if you take this VC divided by 3 common, so it will be 3 into VR minus 1, which is RTR into TC. So, PC cancels out and 8 here giving 8, 3 giving 9, right. So, PR into PC plus 9 by 8, then R into TC, and here it is VC. So, 3 VR minus 1, so RTR into TC. So, further this this can be basically simplified. So, it requires an algebra. So, I am not going into that, right. So, it will be something this or exactly I am not doing it correctly, it will be finally reducing into a form PR plus some constant divided by VR square, right, into 3 VR minus 1 equal to 8 TR, something like that. So, this you can, this form if you know, you can go on simplifying it. So, basically you see it is a function what we have to finally infer. It is a function of reduced variables like reduced pressure, reduced volume and reduced temperature. So, reduced volume is a function of reduced pressure and reduced temperature only. And further generalization, it will give you that Z, the compressibility factor, will be same if PR and TR are same, right. Z is a function of PR and TR. So, van der Waal corroborates with this idea that compressibility factor Z is a function of PR and TR. Redlich-Wang also corroborates with this same, that is Z is a function of PR and TR. And this is called two parameter theory of corresponding states. right, which explicitly specify that if the reduced pressure and reduced temperature are same, then definitely we will have the same deviation of the real gas behavior from that of ideal one. So, I think this can be done in a different way. Let us check it out once again. P plus A divided by V square, right, into V minus B equal to RT. So, this is PR into PC plus A, let us keep A as it is, and this is VR into VC whole square. In this way we can actually approach, this is VC and this is 3 VR minus 1 and this will be R into TC into TR. So, and now if I replace this A and we will do this algebra, we will actually be getting this form, right. Instead you do not go for replacing this, here I have missed actually this VC into VR whole square will be there. So, forget about this part. So, basically we finally come up with Z as a function of PR and TR only from van der Waals equation, and same will be true, definitely the functional form will be different, but same will be true for Redlich-Wang equation, right. So, van der Waals and Redlich-Wang. Now, the point is that this 2 parameter theory of corresponding state, it was found that it is only valid for simple fluid, okay. And what are simple fluid? Basically inert gases. So, these 2 parameters Z, which is a function of PR and TR, that is 2 parameter theory of corresponding state is only valid for simple fluids. Example, helium, neon, argon, xenon, krypton, radon, etc. Now, for other fluids like diatomic or polyatomic fluids, diatomic or polyatomic gases, this 2 parameter is invalid. Okay. Invalid for diatomic or polyatomic fluids. So, this was the discrepancy for this 2 parameter theory, and that was solved by Pitzer et al., right. Upon Pitzer et al., they introduced acentric factor. To resolve the issue. So, what is basically acentric factor? This is represented by omega. You see, we observe that here everything is being satisfied for monoatomic fluid. For monoatomic fluid, atomic center of mass is identical to molecular center of mass, right. Why? Because we have monoatomic, so this is atomic center, this is itself the molecular center. For diatomic, like oxygen, say there will be individual atoms, so these are the individual center of masses for the atoms. However, the molecular center will be somewhere over here. So, this is the center of mass for O2, center of mass of individual oxygen atom, and same is true for polyatomic gases as well, you can understand, right. So, there is a deviation of the molecular center of mass from the individual atomic center of masses, and because of this deviation, basically they have pinpointed, Pitzer and his team pinpointed that because of that molecular fact that in polyatomic or diatomic molecule or atom, polyatomic or diatomic molecule, the center of mass of that molecule is deviant from the individual center of masses. So, initially they thought to measure this deviation in molecular scale. However, the problem is there that if it's for diatomic, it's fine, we can measure this distance from the bond length. But if it is for polyatomic molecule, and different types of structures are there also, like benzene, it's a cyclic structure, cyclohexane, it's a cyclic structure, toluene, it's a cyclic structure, and alternatively there are straight chain compounds like pentane, right, then propane, then where from we will count that molecular deviation. So, it is basically the referencing itself was difficult, and it was by default it is non-standardized. So, they thought that okay, because of this molecular deviation, molecular level deviation of molecular center of mass from the individual atomic center of masses, there is some reflection in the macroscopic property. That is, it cannot satisfy or it cannot actually follow this two parameter theory of corresponding state. So, they introduced some different measure of this deviation from this molecular center of mass from individual atomic mass centers, and because it is a center of mass shift, they call it acentric factor, right, or eccentricity. Why eccentric factor? A in Latin means not at the center, right, and from there they coined the term. And more precisely, what they measure, what was the macroscopic property? It is the profile of reduced vapor pressure versus 1 by or reciprocal of reduced temperature. Why? Because if I plot this reduced vapor pressure versus 1 by reduced temperature, we know from this Clausius-Clapeyron it will be nearly close to a straight line. Now, for simple fluid, this is the line, right, it is a straight line, but for diatomic or polyatomic, we can have this sort of lines, etc. So, maybe say pentane, hexane, N-octane, etc. Now, this is deviant, and what they observe for simple fluid at Tr equal to 0.7, this is equal to -1. So, as this is an integer value, they picked up this point to represent the difference. So, according to their definition, this becomes the eccentric factor for 1, say omega 1. This becomes the eccentric factor is here. So, this becomes the eccentric factor for 2 and so on and so forth. So, they define eccentric factor as -1 minus log to the base 10 PR sat at TR equal to 0.7. So, that was the definition. Right. Now, once the definition is introduced, they simply did another very interesting this modification of this virial equation, right, such that this corroboration with this new theory that is called the 3-parameter theory of corresponding state can be explained. So, first let me describe the theory. So, eccentric factor is another parameter in addition to reduced pressure and reduced temperature. So, what is 3-parameter theory? 3-parameter theory of corresponding states that describes Z as a function of PR, TR and omega, right. If two gases, they are having the same reduced pressure, reduced temperature and eccentric factor, they will have identical deviation from that of ideal gas behavior. And more precisely, what they observed upon generating the values of Z for different PR, TR and omega, that Z is basically a linear function of omega. So, the form is something like this. Right. So, that was their final outcome, and in the light of this linearity, they have introduced a very important and very handy equation which has been derived from the virial equation of state. You know, virial equation for low to moderate pressure, we can truncate it after two terms. Right. So, they have considered the reduced pressure form, writing it like this. Now, this BPC by RTC, right, BPC by RTC, that must be a function of omega. Why? Because finally, this is dependent on omega and the dependence is linear. So, they considered BPC by RTC is equal to B naught, a constant, plus omega into B1. So, obviously, we get 1 plus B naught plus omega B1 into PR by TR. So, you can write this equation as B naught into PR by TR plus omega B1 into PR by TR. So, this will be technically the Z naught, the entire term, and this is Z1. What they further did, considering the experimental data of Z naught and Z1, right, Z naught and Z1, you see in different books it is given that how it changes with TR and PR. That is a graph for Z versus PR at different TR or the reverse, right. For both Z naught and Z1 it is given in standard books, standard textbooks like that of Y.V.C. Rao in chemical engineering thermodynamics. So, once it is given, see, once it is given, or once you know how Z naught varying with PR and TR, because Z naught is independent of omega, right. How you are getting it? From experiment, from experimental data points, like for different gases, you know this critical data. So, from there, first you conduct experiment and calculate the volume for the gas for different pressure and temperature, right. You will get the volume. So, change the volume to compressibility data, that is Z. So, you can have a measure of Z. So, Z you can, the functionality of Z as a function of PR and TR and omega you can obtain, right. You can conduct this experiment for different gases, and therefrom you can also validate that this is linear. So, you can, knowing omega and knowing Z, you can get the value of Z naught and Z1, and you know already at what reduced temperature and reduced pressure this has been measured. So, from there you can generate the plots of or the profiles of Z0 and Z1 at different PR and TR. So anyway, so once this data is at hand, so they tried to match these two expressions with the Z0 and Z1 for low to moderate pressure. So low to moderate pressure means pressure less than 10 bar. And from there they found this B0 and B1 to be dependent on TR, right, that is reduced temperature, because we know that virial coefficients are functions of temperature. So exactly the equations what they found is something like that. You do not have to remember this has already been discussed in this fugacity calculation. 0.083 minus 0.422 divided by TR to the power 1.6, and here 0.139 minus 0.172 TR to the power 4.2. Right. So these are the two functionalities introduced by Pitzer, and the primary point is the acentric factor. Now you see, if you know this reduced pressure of a gas and you are given with the Anton's coefficients A, B, C, right, you can calculate the eccentric factor of that gas, because from the Anton's coefficient, first you have to at reduced pressure and reduced temperature both are needed, because knowing the critical pressure and critical temperature both are needed. So if you know Tc, right, and this is to be measured at Tr equal to 0.7, you can get the temperature. So upon substitution of that temperature in this Anton's equation, you will get the PR sat. So divide that PR sat by Pc, so you will get this PR sat at Tr equal to 0.7, and therefrom you can calculate eccentric factor. So that's the idea of Pitzer, and finally it came out as a 3-parameter theory of corresponding state, Z as a function of PR, TR and omega. Now you see that rest of the cubic equation of states except Redlich-Kwong and van der Waal, they all corroborates with this 3-parameter theory of corresponding states. So primarily the Redlich-Kwong equation, because it was a bit advanced relative to the van der Waal equation, so Redlich-Kwong equation actually was modified by Suave upon inclusion of this eccentric factor, right, and that's why this is popularly called the Suave-Redlich-Kwong or SRK equation of state. Suave-Redlich-Kwong SRK equation of state, right. So what is that? P is equal to RT divided by V minus B minus A divided by V into V plus B. So you may be thinking that what is the change we are getting here, T to the power half is eliminated. However, the point is A and B, they are either both or individual, they will be dependent on omega, right. And you do not have to remember this exact form, just I am writing, see, B is equal to the same as that of Suave-Redlich, this Redlich-Kwong, 0.08664 RTC by PC, right, and A, that is equal to 0.42748, fine, R square Tc square alpha, the new parameter, divided by Pc. Now what is alpha? Under root of alpha was equal to 1 plus S, which is a function of omega, into 1 minus under root of Tr. That was the derivation of Suave-Redlich-Kwong, and S is a quadratic function, just like I am writing 0.48 plus 1.5 omega minus 0.176 omega square. So that's the Suave-Redlich-Kwong equation, right. So this definitely corroborates, because if we find Z from here upon multiplying this side by V by RT, you will definitely get the value of Z, which will be a function of PR, TR and omega, right. And we can do the same practice what we were trying to do in case of van der Waal equation, and we can show that Z here is a function of PR, TR and omega upon substitution of these values, okay. So, this is a 3 parameter or corroborates with 3 parameter theory of corresponding states. Right. The next one, the first one we have discussed, this next one is Peng-Robinson equation. So, which is P is equal to RT divided by V minus B plus minus A divided by V into V plus B into V minus B. Right. And again A is a function of this PC, TC and omega. What is that? Definitely the coefficient value will change now. 0.457248 R square TC square alpha divided by PC, and B is equal to 0.7780 RTC by PC. Now, here you can see this under root of alpha, it follows the same functional form like this, equal to 1 plus S into 1 minus under root of TR. However, this S is now expressed as again the quadratic function, but the coefficient changes. 0.37464 plus 1.5422 omega minus 0.26992 omega square. Right. So, Peng-Robinson and Schwabe-Redlich-Wang, they corroborate with this 3 parameter theory of corresponding state, similar to that of truncated virial equation as introduced by Pitzer after 2 terms. Right. Now, you see that there are any other equation of state as well, and if you are going for higher accuracy, they are not, none of them are generalized. None of them are equally applicable for all different species in different states. It's not, right? But some are applicable, or some gives very good result for a specific mixture or specific pure component, right? We will see how this equation of state can be extended for a mixture. There are mixing rules, we will discuss that. So, like one of the example is Benedict-Webb-Rubin equation. This is not a cubic equation. Benedict-Webb-Rubin or BWR equation of state. So, that is P is equal to RT divided by V minus or plus B naught. You can see the number of coefficients, how it is being increased at the sake of higher accuracy, and the mathematical form is also very complicated. Small b RT divided by A plus A alpha divided by V to the power 6 plus C divided by V cube T square into exponent 1 plus gamma by V square into exponential of minus gamma by V square. So, how many coefficients are there? You see B naught, A naught, C naught, small b, small a, alpha, gamma. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Anything else? So, there are 6, 7, 8 basically. 3 or C is there, small c is there. So, A, B, C. So, 8 parameters. 8 parameters are there in this complex form of Benedict-Webb-Rubin equation, and that can be solved. Now, the point is this complexity is even entertained in industry for natural gases and different types of hydrocarbon, because it gives very good results for natural gas industry and for different gas streams, different mixed streams in the natural, whatever we encounter in natural gas industry. Okay. And though I will be not discussing, based on this Benedict-Webb-Rubin equation, we have Lee-Kessler method. Right. You see, what is the difference? Benedict-Webb-Rubin equation actually does not explicitly incorporate omega, right? So, it does not incorporate omega. Lee-Kessler is a modified Benedict-Webb-Rubin approach upon inclusion of this omega. So, what is that? Their proposition was pretty simple. Z, as Z, see, Z is a linear function of omega. So, they have stated that, okay, we have a Z naught for a simple fluid and omega divided by omega r into Zr minus Z naught. What is this is strikingly novel. What is that? Z is a function of linear function of omega and Z naught stands for simple fluid property and R stands for reference fluid. They have considered a reference fluid property, right, and in their analysis it was n octane. So, Zr minus Z naught is the deviation of the reference fluid compressibility factor from that of simple fluid. So, as Z is a linear function of omega, so and omega for the simple fluid is 0, right. So, they have simply divided it by omega. It is typically an application of unitary method multiplied by omega and they have added it with Z naught. Okay. So, that is the idea, and for the calculation of this Z naught and Zr, they have used Benedict-Webb-Rubin equation, and from there this Z, the compressibility factor of any other fluid, has been calculated. So, Benedict-Webb-Rubin's equation upon incorporation of this acentric factor becomes what is called as Lee-Kessler method. Okay. Now, lastly, we will discuss about the mixing rules. Now, there are two approaches. One is called the pseudo-critical approach or the pseudo-critical method. Yes, pseudo-reduced method, not critical. It is called pseudo-reduced method or Kay's method. What is that? Here the mixture is being considered as a pseudo pure species and TC mix, it has been considered as a linearly weighted average of this TCI, I equal to 1 to n, the total number of components, and PC mix is simply I equal to 1 to n yi into PCI, and omega mix equal to omega I into yi. The same technique has been used repeatedly. Right. Now, once you know this pseudo pure state equivalent parameters like TC mix, PC mix and omega mix, you can apply any equation of state like starting from van der Waals, and say in the van der Waals A mix will be 27 divided by 64 R squared TC mix squared divided by PC mix. So, anything, any pure species gas equation you can use using the pseudo reduced method introduced by Kay. Okay. Now, next mixing rule for virial equation. So, you see that B mix, which we will majorly use, summation of I, summation of j, yi, yj, bij. Right. Similarly, C mix, though it is rarely used, summation of I, summation of j, summation of k, yi, yj, yk, cijk. So, as this is a two body interaction, yi, yj is what? Probability of getting ith and jth species molecules, right, or having interaction. And this is three body interaction. So, we have to go for three individual this mole fraction, and the mole fraction, you know, it's proportional to the probability of getting this specific molecule at a specific point. So, 3 molecules are present simultaneously at some location of 3 different or 3 same, 1 same or 1 and 2 different, etc. Everything, every possible combination is basically accounted by this product yi, yj, yt. So, that is the mixing rule for virial coefficient, and bij, you know, we have solved it, right. Bij, we can this B12 we have solved. Bij is B11, B22, B12. So, B12 how it was solved, we have already described it in this and that was the Praunitz mixing rule. So, yeah, just like this one, yes. So, Bij is this R Tcij divided by Pcij into B naught plus omega ij B1, right. So, omega ij was equal to omega I plus omega j by 2, Vcij it's equal to Vci to the power 1/3 plus Vcj to the power 1/3 divided by 2 whole cube. Then you see this Tcij is under root of Tci into Tcj into 1 minus Kij, this binary interaction parameter, and in the absence of that value adjustable binary interaction parameter, we can consider the value to be equal to 0, right. Now, Zcij is equal to Zci plus Zcj divided by 2 and Pcij is equal to Zcij R Tcij divided by Vcij. So, that was the mixing rule and the method of finding this second virial coefficient. Now, for cubic equation of state, so you see this method you can apply everywhere, but if you want to go for explicit mixing rule for that specific group of equation, for virial equation we have to use this, whereas for cubic equation of state the mixing rule is something like that. So, B is equal to summation of yi bi and A. So, this is B mix and A mix will be equal to the summation I summation j yi yj into under root of ai aj, again 1 minus kij, the same binary interaction parameter we have encountered previously in the virial equation, right. So, with that we just close with this chapter, this subject of thermodynamics, and maybe in the next we will be studying the mass transfer. So, you see this mixing rule, that whether we are going to use this or this, right, that depends on the degree of accuracy. It cannot be stated that this is a more generalized universal structure, right. Definitely it is relatively less accurate compared to system or equation specific mixing rule like this or for the virial equation what I have mentioned, okay. And before this, applying the mixing rule for solving an industrial problem, right. So, we have to note that there is no general or mixing rule or equation of state, there is no general mixing rule or equation of state universally valid for all the different types of species and gas mixture. So, based on the experience and results and progressive analysis, and the state of art actually goes on improving and developing. So, for different types of mixture which we commonly encounter in process industry, we can use different equations with relative degree of accuracy. But there are some general conclusions like for natural gas and different streams of this natural gas industry, we can use this Benedict wave Rubin, whereas in case of these hydrocarbons, specifically the methane and all, right, we can, though it is a 2 parameter theory of corresponding state, but still Redlich-Wang equation gives a very good prediction, right, though it is theoretically insufficient as it does not include omega in its representative structure. So, okay, that is all. Maybe in the next session we will be discussing some thermodynamics problem of gate, and after that we will start this mass transfer. Thank you.